and welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers and this is Techtonica, and as you can see we've got another signal to go and detect. We're also having some issues with some power because we're not producing it fast enough. Yeah, I think we're about to have a unload anyway. Ooh. But I've been having a look around to see where a couple of the problems that we've got that I'm trying to solve. So one is the overflow of sesamoite powder, which is why I was doing up here when I got the alert to say that there was a signal detected. So we're going to go and do that. One of the other issues is processing sand in other places. We need to sort out scrap down here as well, because we're not producing it, we're not getting it where it needs to go quick enough.
New location added to HUD. Out of order.
Okay. So if I just show you round here, we've got a problem with the sand, although it looks like we're actually starting to process it quite quickly, or at least quicker, which I can show you what I've done. But yeah, so that is good. Let's go and find this signal. It is again on lab, but where? And one of the other issues is how am I supposed to get there? Ah, interesting. Interesting. Although we are seeing some chug down here. Okay, so this whole level's now available. Oh wow, there's an entire facility down here. Interesting, and there's some stairs to go up. So if I now get... Nope. What is that? 24,000, so that doesn't even reach the bottom. So what have we got over here? Another facility. Interesting.
Everything in storage here was for drilling and exploration. The containers are
I suspect this is where the mission to Sector Zulu was staged. A great deal of deception and authority was no doubt involved, but only Pacific could have accomplished it.
What did that give us? I'm not sure if that did.
Preparation for our mission to the alien temple in Sector Zulu was an impressive display of secrecy and logistics. Colonel Paladin was correct in his assertion that the relocation of Production Terminal Lima was essential to our efforts, and the has secured the full cooperation of Sergeant Sparks. Pacific was also successful in quietly disseminating the memory loss compound I developed to everyone but the two of us. And I assured them that the mechanism of action would produce an amnesia that developed both slowly and selectively, built precisely for our purposes. As for the mission itself, well, this is where our troubles began. Upon entering the temple, several of us, myself included, were targeted by beams of light that fired directly from the cubes hovering within it. A separate thunderous shock occurred a moment later, knocking all of us to the ground, including the rebellious crew members who had been forced to accompany us. In the aftermath, our plans for the cubes themselves proceeded. Pacific assured me once again that all of them would be delivered to my laboratory, and that everyone else, especially the dissidents, would be led to believe the cubes were destroyed. The delivery never arrived. Fortunately, I have managed to retain the cube that I was attacked by, and I must admit to a certain fascination with it. In my case, I'm sure it is only the spirit of scientific inquiry, but it is possible that the others who were targeted have also found a way to appropriate their own cubes as a part of some personal obsession. Pacific assures me they will resolve this, recover the additional cubes, and on this subject, I will record a final observation, one that I believe may prove historic. I have analyzed my cube and determined what it is primarily composed of: sesamite. I am more certain than ever that these cubes are the missing link. They will show me how to activate sesamite into the substance that will save the human race. I was right about everything. Everything.
I figured our memory loss had something to do with the cubes. So much for that.
Yes. And my impression is that Mirage also has considerable gaps in her memory. However Pacific inflicted this substance upon us, I suspect they covertly did the same to her as well.
So I'm just following this out. Oh, we're here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we're still having power problems. Only because we're not producing enough, but it seems to be enough. There does seem to be enough that we're able to process enough more than we are putting back in when the power goes out, if that makes sense. Okay, let me show you what I've done on Foundry now that we've moved things on a little bit further. Now, obviously we've still got cubes and sesamite, which I've now increased production of by setting up a second set of crushers with sand. So they're producing that to go in here, this then goes into here, and this produces the crystals, which then come in here. Now I've only got one of these switched on at the moment because we're not producing enough crystals to warrant using any more. So that's that. I manually set up relay circuits to drop those in to produce the cubes. Everything else is being produced up here, so that's fine. I will just drop off that stack of glass because we can. So yeah, everything else is being passed in, which is fine. So yeah, that is something I set up, and then I was having a look. But let's go down to Victor. Okay. Right, that's that fixed. Crikey, McBlimey. Okay. Right. We've got fuel being produced again. Good. Right. Okay. Right, we need more actuators. Slash, I need to put another thing in. Okay. Okay, right. One thing I think we need to do now is, I think in barracks we now need to set up and fix the other problem, and that is we need to upgrade the blast charges, because we're just not keeping up with them anymore. Mainly because I think production has halted because we're not getting enough stuff. What aren't we getting? Plant matter fibers. Interesting. But that's all because this is all stopped. Largely due in fact to the fact that the plant matter bricks have backed up. So in order to get that up and running again, we need to get the sesamite gel from here up to the other end. Now I propose that it runs along here. Oh. And then it runs along there. Okay. I just need to turn that one, don't I? Like that. And then that should then spit out there. What I don't know is what this one's doing. So that would be plant matter frames. There we go. We've just seen it. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put it there, but I think because we need it over here, I think we just come through the wall. And I'm tempted to just come through there because I'm fairly certain it's, yeah, we need plant matter bricks, which we're producing as well, so they need to come up. Carbon powder bricks, which we need to sort out. And then yeah, so I'm going to, yeah, these are processing, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is I'm going to take this off. Excuse the train. Right, so you're producing. So I'm going to take you off. and you off. Take you out. I'm just going to take you out for now. Actually, do you know what? Okay. Okay. Right. And then you in there, and I'm going to change your recipe to the updated one. Right. And then I'm going to grab a stack of these, pop those in there. Now we need carbon bricks, so you're outputting. How many plant matter bricks do you need? Just the one. So we're going to take you, run you over into here. Okay, but you've got a stack, so you're okay. You can then come down here because you're the output, that's fine. Okay. Now, plant matter brick. No, carbon powder bricks. That's a problem. But it is going to come in here. So, what do we need? Right, first things first. We need carbon powder bricks. Fairly certain. Carbon powder bricks. What am I looking for? Yeah, here we go. We don't need the frames, we just need the bricks, and I'm fairly certain they're quite expensive. Yeah, 500 carbon powder. Right, so let's just do a quick experiment, which I think I've done before, but I can never remember what the answer is. Right, blast smelter and a Mark III smelter. That produces 40. From 100. Okay. And in order to make the carbon powder bricks, you need 500 carbon powder. Which, if I take that out and move that there, Turn that down to there. We'll sort the other side of that out in a minute. Right, I don't want that on the blast smelter. Could do the same. Okay. Right. That's going out. But that's empty. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Fair enough. But I don't want that. I want that. Right. Stick those in, because then that's going to start producing. Right. I'm going to take that out and that out. Right. We want to come up. Okay. No. That only takes 2 carbon powder bricks, so we wouldn't necessarily have to produce a lot. The only thing I would have to do is I need to grab some of these. Because they need to come down here. Yeah, no, there. Come down. Actually, no. That's not going to be able to do it that side, is it? Or that side. Okay, we might have to come up with something else here. Hang on. Because I can do that and put your stack in there. There you go. Okay. But if I put you in there, then I wouldn't need you, and I could bring you here. Put you in there. You then produce the powder. 40. Whereas if I put a stack in here, and gonna stack in here. Right. Okay. Now we're cooking. Right, what are you waiting on? Carbon powder bricks. Yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do is I need to come over here and put this here and start spitting out these. There. That's going to start spitting those out. Okay. And then, yeah, the Kindlevine extract, which is going into here. Yeah. That's a problem. Because this is all backed up and not doing anything, so... Unless... And Kindlevine bricks. I'll do that. Right, we're going to need some more things. So we're just going to come up here. How are we doing on those? We're not backed up yet. So let's go back to Victor. Okay. We're not backed up on power, that's a bit disappointing. But it's processing. I was going to get actuators, wasn't I? But I need stack inserters. Filters, stacks. There we go. Right. How are we doing on... What's names? We're going to need... get rid of all of those. And we'll grab 2 stacks. And yeah. You. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You produced mud. You don't. Okay. And you're not full yet, are you? Because that's going to become a problem. Don't know have one. Interesting. What do I need for that? Iron frames, electrical components, and mechanical. Electrical components? No. You're not electrical components, are you? Advanced circuits. Nope. 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 No. Mechanical components aren't what we need. Huh. Steel frames, we don't want those, we want iron frames. Iron components. What do we need? Mechanical components. No, we've got those. Electrical components. Yeah, take a stack of those. And iron frames. Zero. Oh, 9 of 20. Okay. 17 of 20. What have I picked those up for? There we go. Okay. Oh, I don't think that's going to get built there. It might. We'll just have to see when. There. There we go. Okay. Right. I think. Sweet. I think that's what we're going to call this. We made some good progress. I think. What are you used for? Oh. Interesting. Oh, but you're full. Okay. Okay. Interesting. What do we use advanced circuits for? We make the relay. I don't use them. I think that's because we replaced their usage. How are you doing? You're backed up. That's good news. But we're producing power, so that's something. So let's see what that's done on the other layers, and then we'll give it a call it a day. Right. So there's not a lot of scrap coming from over there. Right. 29,000. Dig speed 2,000. It's more than what we're getting out. I mean, part of me's tempted to just stick another one in. But I'd need to. Okay, we'll do that. And we'll see how that does. Okay. Because ideally, I'd like that to be... Oh. There. Yeah, that's nearly full again. That's a problem. Huh. We got loads of bricks though. Okay. Okay, so that's that one. So archive. There's no fuel. That's a problem. Well, there's not. There's some fuel. 18,000. Yeah. That is going up again. I mean, I could. In fact, you know what? I am going to. I think it can use that as well. I don't think it can use those. I'm fairly certain it can use all of that. It won't last long, but it'll do something, I suppose. And then lab. 60,000. So it is coming down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're backed up on fuel. Okay. Which is fine. We just need to do something. So I think what I'm going to do is, if we look here, Sesmite powder is not backed up. So what I'm going to do is bring all of these together. I think what I'm also going to do is, rather than feeding it directly in, I'm going to bring it out and filter it. So like that. And like that. and take that off. So then it's filtered, and I'm going to do that on all of them. This bit might be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this one, but I'm going to sort something out for the middle ones. But on the outside, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to feed them into these two systems, so that it then feeds it in. And I'll need to do the same over here. So that's how I'm going to solve that problem. That then makes sure that we don't run out of, well, it doesn't look like we're going to run out of sesamoite coolant for a while anyway. But yeah, why aren't you producing, why haven't you got sesamoite powder? Yeah. So it's coming through, and it does filter through, because it's coming from over there. It's coming from each of these. So this one feeds into this one, which feeds it through. So I think getting that set up is going to help with power as well. So I think that's how we're going to solve that one. And then, yeah, let's... one last thing to check on barracks is... yeah, they're constantly running in, so that's good. But how are we doing here? They're running. Yeah, we are out of bricks. So it's not an efficient way of doing this. But then they're only producing 12 a second. Oh no, 20 each or so. So yeah, it's not keeping up. But how's our chest emptying? Slowly, but it is going. And obviously these are, because I'm now processing the Kindle Vine, these are now emptying as well. In fact, they are empty. In fact, if we go down the line, yeah, this one's still emptying, but oh, because it's not got stacks. Stacks on stacks on stacks. How are these going? What are you? Yeah. Huh. Can they? Can they do plant matter bricks? They can. Huh. I'm curious whether that produces more carbon powder. Yes, it does. Okay. So, when that dries up, It's not though, is it? Because they're going to carry on producing. Okay. 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 Right, I will ponder on that one. Because I think we need to hook them up with plant matter bricks. Because that's definitely a lot more efficient for creating the bricks. Because you're producing them a lot quicker than these plant matter bundles. Although yeah, we can turn that off. And filter those in. There. And then we'll put these back into here. Those will process, but we'll be getting a lot more carbon powder bricks. Because these will be producing a lot more. Yeah, that works a lot better. Okay, right, we are way over, so the one thing I am, yeah, I'm just going to put this back in. There we go. Right, thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come and talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, games in general. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.